Next up, we have a 4-time author. He runs a speaker school, a coaching business, and he is an event master. Without his help, today wouldn't have been possible. People always ask me how I met Brandon, assuming it was at a bar. And it was actually off a cold call from a random Equinox trainer one day who got me to Brandon's A to B conference, where I was blown away by his warm heart. Give it up for the founder of Warm Heart Life, Brandon Godoris.
1, 2, 3 into the 4. B doggy doggy is at the door, ready to make an entrance. Fall recharge retreat, what is up? So, I bet you weren't expecting that. So back in 2020, when I was around all my imaginary friends, I had an actual friend send me a TED Talk. And he says, I want you to watch this TED Talk. So I was all excited. I was like, okay, I'm gonna watch this TED Talk. I have it on my computer. Eyes are in the zone. Now, I did not stay in the zone for very long because it did not catch my attention. So I'm watching this talk and it just kind of shifts to my screen and I start doing work. I was probably writing a book or something. And then what happens on YouTube is it goes to the next video. So the next video starts playing in the background and it did the total opposite. It caught my attention and I was all excited because this lady started talking about how she went to a country where there was a ton of people who lived into their late 90s and even into the early hundreds. And she started studying them. She went there with her daughter. What she found out that what most people typically talk about helps you live longer was not what you would normally think. So, hey, maybe I should exercise more. Maybe I should meditate more. Maybe I should stop drinking. Maybe I should stop smoking. Maybe I should have better air quality. Well, she said the number one key to longevity, and this was research-based, not only by data, but also by her actually going to these places. She said the number one key, and it wasn't even close, was social integration and close relationships. So I said, you know what? I think she's onto something there because I had studied a lot of older people. I had worked at an assisted living home and I studied my grandparents. I had a lot of conversations with people back when I used to work at the golf course. And I was like, I think that's what I want to put my focus towards. I think that's what can help me live longer, is getting around a lot of incredible people. So I simplified it. I'm a simple guy. I did the whole algebra stuff. I did the calculus stuff in high school, but I go back to this one simple equation nowadays, now that I don't have to worry about school. 1 plus 1 equals 2. But then 1 minus 1 equals 0. So I was like, if I could just focus on getting more plus ones into my life, more people who add value, and then if I could focus on getting less minus ones, more people who drain value, then I think I'll be off to a pretty good start. What do you say about getting more plus ones in your life? Come on. So my good friend back there, Carl Michelle, we were teaching a speaker school in Chicago. One of the guys taking our speaker school was the 2-time world powerlifting champion. Now, if you don't know what that's like, you go through pretty intense training periods to make sure that you can win again. So if he's trying to get a three-peat, he's got to train the entire year to be able to make that happen. So he had to get his workout in after speaker school, and then we were going to a comedy show. And a plus one showed up. His name was Adam, and he was also taking our speaker school. And Adam says, hey, I know you got to get your workout in. I know you don't have a gym, but I got the hookup at Equinox. I'll get you in there. So they rush out of this speaker school. He gets him into the gym, and they made it to the comedy show in time, and he got his workout in because he got around a plus one. Now, when we're talking about wealth, you could probably think of the person that you had lunch with and they were complaining about their coworkers, they were complaining about their boss, about how hard of a day it is, about how many hours they work. That's not that fun to be around. I like being around people who want to see me grow and who want to see me succeed. So one guy, I've been fortunate enough that he's came into my life. His name's Robert Koenigsberger. He's the CIO of a hedge fund. Donnie's done some work with them. 2 years ago, we're playing golf. He says, Brandon, I want you to tell me about the university idea that you've been talking about on social media. I said, okay. So for those of you who don't know, my goal is to have 10,000 student universities across 10 of the best cities in the United States. And he says, Brandon, explain it to me. So I started telling him about it, and he's like, I think I got a guy that I should connect you with. So then that whole year goes by, a lot of good happened. And then the next year goes by. He says, Brandon, I want you to come into my office and I want you to give me the update on this. And we sat down last year about this time and we came up with the entire plan for 2023. He's like, I'll save you from the mistakes you're gonna make and let's just dial this in. And that's a +1 right there. In relationships, you could probably think of someone who drains your energy. I was dating a beautiful girl one time. She was incredible. But one thing that was just so draining is she would talk about how tired she was all of the time. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is this is tough. And it was draining me. And I'm like the guy, I want to have another drink with you at the bar. I want to get to know you. I want to meet 1 billion people in this world. I want to have these big universities. I'm like the guy who likes to live. I love energy. I went skydiving with my buddy Rob. We had a blast doing that. And then I started dating another girl after that. And the first time we slept together, I looked over and I was like, wow, we didn't get a lot of sleep last night. And she goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I slept great. And I was like, that's a +1 right there. So now another thing that I learned in life was the 3 keys to building strong relationships. And I learned this from this guy, Jesse Itzler. So for those of you who don't know who Jesse Itzler, he married Sarah Blakely, the founder of Spanx, and he also sold 2 companies to Warren Buffett. So give it up for Jesse Itzler, even though he's not in the room. Because this guy inspired a lot of what I've did over the last 4 years, and it's these 3 simple things. He said, if you can implement these 3 C's in your everyday life, you're gonna be able to build some incredible relationships over time. Now, I can't guarantee you that this is gonna help you sell 2 businesses to Warren Buffett, but it will help you connect with some incredible people. So the first C is compliment. He said, if you could focus on giving more compliments, people are gonna appreciate that a little bit more. So me and my brother, we were out at this bar in White Plains. Give it up for White Plains. And there was this bar called Brazen Fox, and there was an island bar. Yeah, Eli knows. So it was a great social place. And there was this guy wearing a SpongeBob shirt. So if you're wearing a SpongeBob shirt at the bar, you know, maybe there's just something that's just a little different about you, and not in a bad way. But my brother was like, hey, this kid's a little lonely. I'm gonna go give him a compliment. So he said, hey man, I love your shirt. Were you into Nickelodeon when you were younger? He said, yeah, man, like I love SpongeBob. And we ended up having drinks with this kid, and it was a great night, and you could tell how excited he was to be able to have that conversation with us. But my brother just started it with a compliment. So then the second one is congratulate. So, hey, it's someone's birthday. Hey, congratulations, you made it another year. It's an anniversary. Hey, happy anniversary. That's so incredible and so inspiring that you still are together. So I literally go through Facebook, I go through Instagram, and I'm just looking for opportunities to congratulate people. Then the third C, it's a great C, and it's what you all are doing right here for this lovely lady, Mallory Chilla. Give it up for her, the host of the event. And that is, you showed up. Console. So when your friends need you, you show up. When your friend just went through a tough breakup, you show up, and you probably just sit there with tissues and just listen to them for an hour. When your friend just got a raise, maybe you go out for a drink and you cheers to them and say, hey, congratulations, that's so awesome. So the third C is console. And what that means is just showing up. Now, the last thing I want to leave you with here today, I was meeting this guy. His name was Rob lawless. And his goal is to meet 10,000 people and spend 1 hour with them. So he wanted to meet 10,000 new people and spend 1 hour with them. I was like, wow, that's an incredible goal. This guy understands the art of conversations. I meet with him. This is in pre-pandemic era. I'm like number 2,000 something. I'm feeling so honored that I made it to one of the 10,000. and I go and meet him. We're at this table. We're sitting across each other. It's almost like we're on a date. And the first half hour, I'm talking the entire time. And I'm just like, wait a minute. This guy's good. He's just got me talking like this. And I said, hey, you got to tell me, what's the trick? I said, you meet all these new people. Like, how do you get them to open up like this? He said, well, there's really no trick, but I learned this thing early on called the Ford method. I said, what's the Ford method? He said, it's family, occupation, recreation, dreams. And I started using this, and I was so amazed because I started having heart-to-hearts with people at the bars. And every single time I would go out, it was like I got to know someone new, just a genuine conversation. And I was hooked because then I started going to networking events, and I seemed to always be the last one at the networking events because I was just using this simple method. So, Jose, can you come up here? Can you come up here? You mind volunteering? We're going to get a volunteer so you can see what this is like. Give it up for Jose. All right, I just met Jose today. I know nothing about him except for his name and that he's friends with Eli. Do you have any brothers or sisters?
A brother and a sister.
Oh, no way. Do they live around here?
Florida.
Oh, wow, wow. What part of Florida are you from?
Upper center.
Oh, cool. I did an internship over in Palm Beach. It was one of the most incredible places I've ever been in my life.
That's very nice. Internship for what?
So it was at a golf course. It was called the Everglades Golf Club, and it was so amazing.
How long did you intern for?
So I interned there for about 7 months, and that's what actually brought me up here. What do you have going on for work?
Unemployed at the moment.
Oh, I got you. So are you more of like the finance, the marketing? What interests you the most?
Branding and marketing.
Oh, no way. So social media, there's a lot of that going on nowadays. Is there anyone you really like in the marketing world?
A few, no names come to mind right now.
Yeah.
No.
I know I met your friend Eli a while back. Who was the podcast that you liked?
The one we talked about,
Fresh and Fit. He told me about this podcast, Fresh and Fit. They do a pretty good job marketing, wouldn't you say?
Definitely.
So, what do you do for fun? Like, you look like you're in good shape. I feel like I could take some advice from you.
Just work out and work.
Ah, nice. See, hey, that's the trick, right? Work out and work. It keeps you in shape. Have you ever gone skydiving before?
I have not, no. I don't think I will.
Well, I have, and I don't know if I recommend you should.
I like the ground.
You like the ground. What's one thing you've always wanted to do?
I don't know. Travel, really.
Travel, man. Europe?
Europe, yeah.
Yeah.
Germany.
Hey, let's get some spaghetti. Let's go to Paris. Let's have a good time together. Give it up for Jose! Hey, so you see what I did there? Hey, do you have any brothers or sisters? Yes, that opens up the conversation right there. Hey, do you like what you do for work? I hate when people say, hey, like, what do you do? What do you do? It's like, hey, do you enjoy what you do? And then recreation. Hey, what do you like doing for fun? Hey, I like working out. Yeah, I can tell. I'm a little jealous. And then dreams. It's like, hey, have you ever gone skydiving before? And whether they say yes or no, they start thinking about things that they've wanted to do. So we started talking about Europe. Now, I'm saying all of this to say this one thing. There's going to be a lot of people who tell you what's good for you, what's not so good for you. But I can tell you one thing. I don't think there is anything better for you than what you are doing right here today, getting around these plus ones, getting around these people who want to see you grow, getting around these people who are making some things happen. Thank you.